Iran is facing its biggest wave of unrest in years, as protests over soaring inflation and economic hardship spread across the country. Eyewitnesses in Lorestan Province, particularly in Azna, reported overturned cars, fires, and crowds chanting outside police stations. At least 6 people have died, with many more injured, as demonstrators clash with security forces. The unrest has drawn international attention. U.S. President Donald Trump warned that if Iran violently suppresses peaceful protesters, the United States would intervene. Tehran responded sharply, saying foreign interference could destabilize the entire region. Inside Iran, President Masoud Pezeshkian has acknowledged public dissatisfaction and blamed the government for the economic crisis. The rial has sharply devalued, and inflation has hovered above 36%, leaving ordinary Iranians struggling with rising prices and limited opportunities. Iran has a long history of quelling protests with heavy-handed measures, but worsening economic conditions and growing public anger have put the authorities in a delicate position. How the government responds now could have major implications for domestic stability and regional security, as both international scrutiny and internal frustration intensify.
U.S. President Donald Trump wrote on social media on Friday that, quote, if Iran shots and violently kills peaceful protesters, which is their custom, the United States of America will come to their rescue. A top Iranian official responded to Trump's comments, warning that U.S. interference in domestic Iranian issues would equal the destabilization of the whole region. The U.S. warning comes days into unrest that has left several dead and posed the biggest internal threat to Iranian authorities in years. Eyewitness video from Thursday showed an overturned car and several fires as protesters chanted outside a police station in Lorestan Province. This week's protests over soaring inflation have spread across Iran, with deadly confrontations between demonstrators and security forces. The elected president Masoud Pezeshkian has struck a conciliatory tone. On Thursday, he said the government was at fault for the conditions that gave rise to the demonstrations. State-affiliated media and rights groups have reported at least 6 deaths since Wednesday. Iran has seen repeated bouts of major unrest in recent decades, often quelling protests with heavy security measures and mass arrests. But worsening economic problems may leave authorities more vulnerable now. Pezeshkian's government is attempting a program of economic liberalization, but one step, deregulating some currency exchange, has contributed to a sharp decline in the value of Iran's rial on the unofficial market. That has compounded inflation, which has hovered above 36% since March,